Welcome to the Martinez Athletic Center. I'm Connor Moore alongside Kelly Sarency. We have a primetime matchup tonight between the Central Washington Wildcats and the Tampa Spartans. Both teams successfully defeated the New Haven Chargers earlier today in an impressive 3 sets. Now, Kelly, what are your keys to the matchup today in this primetime affair?
Yeah, I really do think we're going to see an offensive battle tonight between both teams. Tampa notoriously having a strong offense, hitting a .436 today earlier as a team against New Haven. And Central Washington, the same thing. One of their strengths as a team is just having an efficient offense, minimizing their errors and getting their kills when they can. So I expect this to be a really competitive match tonight.
This one will surely not disappoint, as we're almost ready to get going. We have the Tampa Spartans in the home white and the Central Washington Wildcats in the maroon. Both teams look hyped to be here. Should be a very competitive game. Getting ready to start us off is Sammy Mueller, serving for the Tampa Spartans. And we're underway. Nicely executed that time by Central Washington, number 21, Madison Wegg, as they get on the board first. 1-0 Wildcats. Kyla Morgan served, didn't quite get there. It's 1-1 early. That spike was out of bounds. Point Tampa. 2-1 Tampa lead. Sorrel Houghton to serve. An emphatic spike by Madison Wegg. And this game is tied 2-2. Some early subs for the Wildcats. Bridget Webb and Nikki Cook enter the game.
Yeah, the Wildcats will keep their 6-2 offense just like they did last season with both of their sophomore setters, Nikki Cook and Gabrielle Ahara.
That point will go to the Wildcats, 3-2 Central Washington. Serving for the Wildcats, number 15, Michaela Swart. Nicely executed that time for the Spartans. And this game is tied 3-3. Subbing in for the Spartans, number 19, Courtney Vogler. Nyla Dempsey's spike was out of bounds. Point Wildcats. A very nice spike that time by Courtney Vogler, who just entered the game, making her presence known early. Melissa Elias, who just checked into the game, is about to serve. A very nice play by Courtney Vogler. 5-4 Spartan lead. Elias' serve a little bit too far. 5-5. Subbing in for the Wildcats, Sarah Joffs. Sabrina Wheelhouse with the serve. Some nice defense from the Spartans on that sequence. And it finds the room. That's a point for Tampa, 6-5 Spartan lead. Kyla Morgan subbing in for the Wildcats. The point will go to the Wildcats as Vogler's reject was out of play. Madison Wegg checks back into the game for the Wildcats. Sorrel Houghton's spike was out of play. Point Wildcats. Some intense action so far, Callie. Both teams look very confident in their play and their style and their approach.
For sure. Actually, a little higher error than probably both coaching sidelines would like right now with both offenses. But, yeah, very competitive to start.
That point will go to Tampa. We are tied up 7 apiece. Taylor Fossler checks in for the Spartans. Vogler to serve. Sarah Joffs with a very nice spike there. Point Wildcats. Very nicely executed by Jen Beaumier for the Spartans. Sammy Mueller and Nyla Demps check back in for the Spartans. A momentary delay.
Looks like we have a broken shoelace. So it's not just a retie. We're actually going to get a substitution out of the match so she can change her shoelace.
I'm sure the Wildcats were not anticipating that, but hopefully they have another shoe there for her. Sammy Mueller to serve for the Spartans. Very nicely executed by Nyla Demps. Point Spartans.
Yeah, Tampa doing a great job there with that unexpected substitution, serving at that player, number 6, McKenna Smith, and eventually getting the point because of it.
Sammy Mueller's serve was out of play. Point Wildcats. Kyla Morgan to serve for Central Washington. A nice spike there for number 2, Maggie McTaggart. And Central Washington is first to get to double digits as they have a 10-9 lead. A nice spike there by Madison Wegg. 11-9 Wildcat lead. A little confusion there for the Spartans, and they fall behind 12-9.
Yeah, that tight pass and a back row setter is usually a bad combination, as Sammy Mueller got caught in the net for that point.
The Wildcats up 14-9. That'll lead to a Tampa timeout by Chris Katanak as they look to adjust. So far, the game has not disappointed with a lot of nice action. We'll see if the Spartans are able to adjust after this brief timeout. As we get ready to resume play, the Tampa Spartans hope to avenge a 4-point deficit. Kyla Morgan getting ready to serve for the Wildcats. And Tampa will get the point. Houghton to serve. Very nicely done by the Tampa Spartans on a double hit. 13-11 Wildcat lead. And the tip works that time for Central Washington. They get the point. Subbing back in for the Wildcats, Bridget Webb and Nikki Cook. A momentary delay as a wet spot on the court. Should resume shortly. Nicely executed by Nyla Demps. Nothing you can do on that. Too much power, too much force, and that leads to a point for the Spartans. Casey Reynolds with the serve for the Spartans. And the tip does not work that time for Bridget Webb. Point going to Tampa.
Tampa's defense doing a nice job on that play, just identifying what was happening. They were running an overload play, running a 1 and a 2, and Tampa was still able to get a double block up on their attackers.
A nice spike that time by number 6, McKenna Smith for the Wildcats. She'll get a breather after that intense spike. Checking back in, Shelby Moritzen for Central Washington. Very nicely. 16-14 Wildcat lead. A nice spike that time by Sarah Jops. 17-14 Central Washington. The point goes to the Wildcats on that one. Another timeout for the Spartans, trailing 18-14. So what do you believe the keys to avenging this 4-point deficit are, Kelly, for the Spartans?
You know, a tough thing. I think the last couple of points we've really seen Tampa's inexperience kind of shine through. So in comparison with both teams in the starting lineup, Central Washington starts 5 juniors and seniors compared to Tampa's 0. So we're just really seeing a lot of young players. That last play out, Melissa Elias, that was just a young, inexperienced setter type play where it was a tight ball. She thought it was going over the net. Clearly it didn't, and that resulted, you know, in Central Washington getting a 4-point edge. So I think we're just having a couple of those young moments of just having the inexperience on the court that's really providing the gap between Central Washington and Tampa right now. Absolutely.
Those are some of the instances where you look back at the beginning of the season, and by the end you definitely have corrected them. So a little bit of adjusting here for the Spartans, but hopefully they can avenge this and hopefully take the set. As Sabrina Wheelhouse gets ready to serve for Central Washington. A lot of actions on both sides. Nicely kept alive by the Spartans. A nice sequence here, both sides. And the point goes to Tampa.
Does a great job of Tampa being patient on that play, especially after having to deliver Central Washington a free ball. Defensively staying patient, and Central Washington making an unexpected error, especially on a free point, which is considered on that free ball.
Nicole Dominguez to serve for the Spartans. A little confusion there for the Spartans, but they keep it alive. Very nicely executed by number 17, Jen Bomir. And Tampa has looked like a new team after the timeout.
They sure have. That was not an easy angle for Jen Bomir to attack either, and she went for it, and Tampa got the reward.
Dominguez's serve out of play, point Central Washington. Subbing in for Central Washington, Gabrielle Ihara, and number 21, Madison Wegg. Tampa gets the point. (19-17) Central Washington lead. A nice counter that time by the Spartans. And Tampa with some nice defense gets the point. 19-18 leads to a timeout by Mario Andaya for the Wildcats. We look to be in for a nice ending to the first set as we have a very competitive 19-18 ball game. Both of these teams have very experienced coaches who have been in this moment before and are going to their old playbook to try to find something that'll prevail them to win this set. Molly McIlvaney getting ready to serve for the Spartans, down 18-19 here. Nicely kept alive by Tampa on that sequence. And it finds the floor. We have a tie game, 19-19.
Smart play by the junior Beaumier, kind of mixing in an off-speed shot there to break up that rally and earn the point for Tampa.
McIlvaney serves. Countered by Central Washington. Some more confusion that time for Tampa. Point will go to Central Washington. (20-19) Wildcat lead. And the Wildcats get the point. Shelby Moritzen serve, countered by the Spartans. Denied that time by Sarah Joffs. Point, Central Washington. Kelly, the Wildcats are really using their height to their advantage over an undersized Tampa team.
Yeah, the Wildcats have some size, and statistically, while they only have one block on the board with that last one by Sarah Joffs, their size is making Tampa kind of do different things that they don't want to do with their offense, which has had them struggling here as of late.
A nice spike that time by Molly McIlvaney, keeping Tampa within reach. 20-22 Wildcat lead. Sammy Mueller's serve. And the point goes to Central Washington. Checking back in, Sabrina Wheelhouse for the Wildcats. Kept alive there by the Wildcats. Nicely done that time by the Spartans. They get the point. Checking back in for the Spartans, number 6, Shelby Jocelyn.